You can talk. Yeah. Okay. We're back. So we left off. You spoke about. I'm already banking on what you said. I'm sorry.
Okay, of the we was talking about my book number 4, why people do what they do, and
Yes,
topic
yes,
is
yes. Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yes. Yeah, I ducked that one. Yeah, I dodged that bullet. Um, Okay, so it's another great idea in my opinion, really, because um, questions like that, they are discarded, they are regarded as myth, they are regarded as something external that doesn't have to do with scientific proof. It doesn't have to do with psychology. It's really a shame. It's a shame because people the question why, it doesn't pertain to anyone. Nobody cares about that. The why, because it's the hardest question to answer, in its in its essence. So could you just tell me why you've chosen to answer the why question when it comes particularly to people's behaviors and misbehaviors also.
Yeah, well, you get when people behave in a certain way, most people would say, "Oh, they're crazy." That's the first thing that comes out of people's minds. And I don't know if they're just saying it just out of habit or some a learned behavior to say someone is crazy. But I mean, if you look up the word crazy, what does that really mean? And so most people aren't crazy. It's really an experience that they had or some type of upbringing, or again, a learned behavior as to why they're doing what they do. So to help that person, because we tend to look at the surface of things and try to change the surface instead of getting to the root of the matter, which that's where we have to go to the root for lasting change. You have to get to the root of the matter, but again, not everybody process will be the same. So yeah, like for instance, me, I used to drink a lot alcohol. I mean, I started at 12, young as 12, of drinking and till I was 26. Now, I didn't attend any AA meetings for me to stop doing that. But there are some people that has worked for them. So I can't say, oh, well, you just need to stop because I stopped. And then that person who attended the AA meeting telling another person, well, you need to attend an AA meeting. Well, you don't know. And it's just different for people because again, we're not robots. We process things differently. We think differently. We believe different things. And that has an effect on our ultimately our decisions and the behaviors that we make.
Yeah, it's a very wide topic, and it's fraught with a lot of myths and a lot of inconsistencies, to say the least, or even disparagingly viewing that topic, because because the subject matter of the why is it's it's such a core question that runs through everything in our lives, in our theology, in our aspects, in every facet of life. I think the why it's a metaphysical question at this point. I think in time it's regarded as myth, but putting that to bed, or not, we at least we will be doing that, and we'll be moving on to far more sun-filled and glamorous and more mystical or mythological place called the Hollywood Hills, or the Cali Valley, or whatever other kind of cliched term you want to use for that to describe this place. And if you would like to start a jump the gun, and then I'll try to put my 2 cents in.
So, yeah, I've been very interested in the fashion and entertainment industries since I was preteen again. And we see the glitz, the glam, the luxury of it, and it just looks so fun. But there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes to even create something like that. And then some of it is an illusion because it's not what some people think that it is. Even some of their favorite celebrities are not making as much money as they think that they do. And yeah, it's just a lot of different things that a lot of different components that comes into when you're talking about the fashion and entertainment industries, and that would include music and movies and sports, entertainment. That's all included. And then you have fashion, which they all go hand in hand. Really, you see, you have these athletes now, and they have their own clothing lines, and they're dressing, and they're in GQ, and so you have these different industries
You
that
gotta
are,
push the brand. You gotta
yeah,
push the brand.
yeah, they're getting endorsements. That's where they make a lot of their money from, is from even from endorsements. So doing my colorful background in the entertainment industries, was one of them was a fee finder and sponsorship and product placement. So you see, hey, why is that athlete holding a Gatorade even though it's not a commercial, or a Sprite? Well, that's called product placement. They're getting paid for that. And they get endorsed. Yeah, they're getting endorsements, and they're getting money for that. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, um, that the typical person don't see. They just they see the end result, but they don't know what it took to even put
Yeah, I
something
need to play some products in my background. Maybe I'll get
together.
the check in the mail next
Yeah.
month. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll get
Oh, they do it all the time.
a wire transfer. Yes.
Yes, that's definitely how a lot of them are getting paid even more on the side. I mean, they can do these other things because yeah, they're getting more money even too from endorsements. You have some getting 50 million, 100 million, even just from endorsement alone. That's not even their contracts. So so you have, yeah, just these different components, and then depending on what type of project you're working on, whether it's TV, film, a red carpet, award show, styling personally for celebrities, there's just different areas in that. You even
Yeah,
see on
it's
that.
weird. It's weird because I see commercial, Israeli commercial for an insurance company, and I see David Schwimmer saying that Meitav, Meitav in perfect Hebrew. Yeah, so it's weird. Yeah,
Yes.
like, the paleontologist from Friends, Ross or whatever his name. Now is doing side gigs for an Israeli insurance company. So it's
Yeah, hey, yes. So yeah, that's just another stream of income that again they don't see. Even having some of the cars in these videos, maybe Bentleys, these luxury cars, that too is product placement. The company will allow for them to use that car because that's promotion for them without them even having to pay for it. It's not theirs in some cases. Some of them, yes, but in other cases, no, it's not even theirs. These companies are allowing them to use it for advertising and promotion. And they're definitely happy to do that. And of course, the bigger the name, the more they get. And yeah, just unlimited. So there are some free clothes and free items depending on, again, the name too. You may get a car depending on who you are. And you can keep the clothes and you can keep the jewelry and you can keep all of those other things.
Yeah, so well, you named a couple of different functions that you actually held, or positions, or different job titles, or jobs that entailed very different or multiple different types of jobs and skills. So, what was the? Do you have anything that was really meaningful from that time that you can, or do you have any industry secrets that are particularly interesting, but are not too? Let's say they're not classified. They are released to the public.
So when looking into the different arenas of styling, because yeah, for instance, as a celebrity stylist, that you would be a personal stylist for a celebrity in events that they attend. When you get into fashion stylists, that could be for runway, things of that nature. But then when you get into TV, film, your costumer or wardrobe supervisor. And I just really wanted to see what areas that I would like the most. So I kind of tapped into all of them. Movies, no, because they're, well, at that time, my three sons then, only then, um, they were younger. And so I took a project that was in Texas. And so I was away from them for about a month and a half, which no, I didn't want to do that anymore. And then there's a lot of work into that too, especially when you're doing wardrobe. It's not like hair and makeup where they show
Yeah,
up on the
Israelis don't realize how far California is from Texas. It's like
yeah,
it's like two continents. Yeah.
yeah, further away. And so it was I couldn't just hop on a plane because we're shooting 6 days a week. So we only had one day off. And that wouldn't have been enough time for me to go to California and then come back and go back to Texas. And yeah, it just was a lot of work. It's just a lot of work into wardrobe. You're the first one in, last one out. Yeah, makeup and hair, they can show up on the set with their kits and get things done. But wardrobe, there's continuity. There's a lot of different things that into place because it's scenes are shot out of sequence. You're not you have to, yeah, the continuity you have to between the wardrobe supervisor and then the script supervisor and the costumers, you have to be on one accord because it is shot out of sequence. You may shoot a scene day one, which you have another scene from day one 20 days later. It has to look the same for continuity purposes. So yeah, there's photos and you have some of the cast, they want to take the clothes and they want to take what they have and you have to make sure they take it off and you get it back. And when you have a large production, you're talking about all these different hundreds of cast members. And so, and then you have extras. And so there's a lot involved when putting on a production on the crew side, which is the ones in the background, as well as the cast, which are the ones you see on the screen. And yeah, it's not just, oh yeah, we see the finished product and it's great and the glitz and glam. No, there's a lot put into that. Even the fashion shows, I mean, some of those are planned a year in advance and they only last what 30 minutes, an hour. It's yeah, and they're doing this for, this is done for a whole year in advance, especially when you're talking about the Victoria's Secret fashion shows like that. That's a huge production, which they start on that as soon as the one is aired. They're going to start on the next one immediately because it's a lot of work into putting those type of productions together.
Yeah. So what actually drew you into that kind of industry, and why? And I don't want to press on with this issue, but if you would like uh, to open up some Pandora's boxes that are interesting, or you have a maybe a funny story. Maybe rather a funny story about an actress that doesn't like the way you did her makeup, or that dress made her buttocks kind of widen up, or is it?
Well, how I got started was really my grandmother was the inspiration. We attended Catholic school, and so we had to wear a uniform, and it was like, oh no, I want a free dress. I would definitely enjoy the free dress. Once I got to high school, I'm like, no more Catholic school for me because I want to wear clothes. And I literally would spend my lunch money. We had the Gap across the street, the clothing store, the Gap, and they would have a sale every Wednesday, and me and my friend, we would go over there and we would get clothes. It was just all about clothes with me. So I was definitely into fashion early on. And to take it and get paid for it, I was like, I might as well. I'm already shopping. And so I might as well get paid to do these things. And I had a lot of creative ideas because initially it was fashion and not design and not just fashion styling. And so yeah, moving to LA, well, starting in San Francisco and doing fashion shows, and then moving to LA, um, really where that is the entertainment capital of the
Yeah,
world,
and San
where you have bank.
Francisco, is not that close. It's 8 hours
Yeah,
away. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and you don't have as much. You don't have the red carpet and the movies. Most of them are shot. Things are in LA, and so yeah, getting into that, I really thought that that was just it. I didn't know the other things. You do have some celebrities who they're divas, and there's the demanding of it. And at that time, because I was in a different place than where I am right now, there were some that we kind of clashed. I won't name any names, they know who they are. But we definitely clashed. But what I learned from it, it was not taking it personal. I mean, we've all reconciled our relationships. We're cordial. We don't talk now. I don't talk to any of them now. It's been years ago, but um, definitely seeing in that too. Like that was a part of the why people do what they do. I have some of them in there. I don't name them; it's under fictitious name, but why they did some of the things that they did. Um, but yeah, it was just. I would say the most interesting project was that film project I worked on and was gone for a month and a half. It was just very a great cast. But just a lot of interest. There was a lot of partying going on. Some of them would show up on the set. I mean, literally coming from the club, and they're on the set at 5. We would have call time 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and they would do. I was like, oh, absolutely not. I went out a couple of times, but there were days that I would stay in the hotel alone because I just couldn't do it. It was just too much work. And I can't function like that. I need to be focused. And so just having a really good time. I mean, it was a good time, but I just couldn't do the everyday like some of them did. They would go out every day, every night, I should say, and they just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's great. You had some wonderful, great ideas for books. Even top psychologists, or I don't know, entrepreneurs or coaches, or I don't know, mental health experts, guidance counselors, whatever people who work in the kind of in the mental health arena. Um, they vary so much from each other, and all the different kind of yogis and yeah, people like that, which I can't stand it. Like, if I will see someone with a title like that, I will never speak with them, because they're just they they encompass a character. They are building a character, a professional kind of image they want to project, and it's no different than any actor or actress that asks you to put on the makeup that best suits them. That they they don't want the bags under their eyes, and everyone wants to stay young forever and to look beautiful. For whatever reason, I will never understand that, because you are a perishing kind of a creature as a human being, as a mere mortal. You wait to shuffle off your mortal coil, and you have to acknowledge it in some way. You can have fun, you can take advantage of whatever you can, well, you can. Um, yeah, so I want to thank you so much for this lovely conversation. If you have any last comments or ideas or thoughts or anything to enlighten us.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, with social media, and yeah, we mentioned COVID was mentioned, and you have, especially the millennials, but you even have some who aren't, who are looking, they're looking for purpose now. They may have lost their jobs. They're finding out that there is something different that they now want to do. And instead of looking at others and saying, hey, this person is successful, I'm going to copycat. And I would definitely discourage that, because, again, we're not robots. Just because it's working for them, that doesn't necessarily mean it's for you. And that's where the overwhelm and the frustration and the stress comes in at, when we either do what we see other people doing, or we're being forced to do something maybe a parent, our peers, or other people around us think that that is what we should be doing. And they may mean well, but that's not for you. We all have to discover our own purpose and what naturally comes to us. And some people, that may be going back to school more to enhance it, not to start to create it, but because it's already in us when we're born, and we all have some type of gift. And so just really tapping into what that gift is, and you'll be much more happier, instead of waking up on Monday, oh, dreading having to go into this 9 to 5 or whatever that may be. So yeah, that would be, just want to encourage.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find yourself in this post. I don't know even I don't know the time. The times are changing so fast, so quickly, and so any infinitesimal even attempt to describe or codify the situation is null and void at the next moment. So I won't even try it. So I won't even attempt it. Just
Up with stuff,
yeah.
so
Sorry.
come up with these different things. It's one thing one day, another. They're lifting the
Yes.
mandates.
Well, Keyonna, thank you so much. It's been lovely speaking with you. I wish you all the best and congratulations. And hope we can talk in the future.
Are you in Israel? Shalom, shalom.
Yes, shalom מה נשמע, ערב טוב. Okay, thank you. Bye.